Hey you guys, this is Victoria with victoriavegan.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to be doing a video on nuts and seeds, so stay tuned. Hey you guys, I appreciate you watching this video so much, and I'm just going to jump right in. So I want to first give you a run through of what nuts and seeds I consume. Now, I'm personally allergic to most nuts. I still can eat a few. I'm sure most of you aren't allergic to nuts, so you'll be able to eat a full range of them. But the ones that I eat are almonds, which are actually the most alkaline nut. Most nuts are acid forming in the body, but almonds are the least acidic and they're the most alkaline. Sunflower seeds I love. There's so many recipes that I use with soaked sunflower seeds. They're really good. They taste good. It's a side note of this is that it's a given that I get all of my nuts and seeds organic and raw and unsalted. Hemp seeds are wonderful, full of benefits. Sesame seeds I love. When they're ground up, they create what's called tahini, which I use in a lot of recipes. And pumpkin seeds are anti-parasitic, and I also eat pecans. Pecans taste absolutely glorious when they are ground up with dates. Dates and pecans, oh my gosh, so good. That's a wonderful crust for a lot of raw food pies and such. And the other nuts that I can't eat because I'm allergic, but they also have benefits, are walnuts, cashews, Brazil nuts, and pine nuts. I'm sure I'm missing a few. I want to bring up the doctrine of signatures real quick because, for example, walnuts, they look like a brain when they're in their shell, and they're good for your brain. And another example of something that's not a nut, but carrots, when you chop open a carrot, you look at it, it has an eye, what looks like an eye, and they're good for your eye. So I just thought I'd bring that up real quick because it's so interesting. But yes, walnuts are wonderful for the brain. And if you're able to eat them, please do so. Now, I want to start out this video by saying to always eat your nuts and seeds in moderation. When you first go into a raw food diet, it can be really easy to get swept up in, okay, I'll eat one apple and then, a 10-pound bag of almonds. No, I'm just kidding. But if you think about it in nature, for example, pecans, if you were really out at a pecan tree and trying to crack open the shell, how long would it take you to crack open the shells and eat them? It would take a long time. But when you buy them pre-bought in the store, or pre-cracked in the store, you can just stuff your face with a million of them, which you wouldn't really be doing in nature. So nuts they have a high fat content, which yes, it's beneficial, but if you're overdoing it, it's not that great. So always eat them in moderation. And also when you're eating them, try to mentally think about, why am I eating this? Why is it beneficial to me? And really meditate on it when you eat it. That's something I love to do, especially with nuts and seeds. Because I do eat them in moderation when I do eat them. Like, for example, tahini. When I eat a recipe that has tahini in it, I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be so good for my skin and my hair. It's full of minerals. Tahini is full of calcium. So just try to really think about what you're eating and why you're eating it. I really also wanted to mention the absolute and utter importance of soaking your nuts and seeds. And you might not have ever heard that before. And I heard about it for months of being on the raw food thing, and I just said, yeah, and I ignored it. I didn't think that there really was truly any benefits. I didn't really research it much, and I just kind of passed it out of my mind. But one day I soaked some almonds, and I saw how easy it was and how they actually digested better for me. And I thought, wow, I am never going back. I should have listened before. I always soak my nuts and seeds now. So some of the benefits Like I said, more easily digestible. When you soak almonds, for example, you'll see that even after 20 minutes, the water will turn murky and brown, and it's because it took off a lot of the dust, the residue, and what's called the tannins from the skin. After they've been soaked, they have a greater enzyme activity, and it also releases what's called enzyme inhibitors. And you're probably like, what is that, Victoria? Enzyme inhibitors are like phytic acid, and they really put a strain on the digestive system. But why are they there in the first place? Well, they're there because nature is actually really smart, and nature has it set up to where the nut and the seed won't germinate without having the right amount of precipitation and moisture, and then they will germinate and sprout. And it's so important to sprout our nuts and seeds because it makes them become living, and that's what we want, isn't it? For them to become full of life and living instead of dead. When you buy roasted seeds and nuts, they cannot sprout anymore. If you put them in the ground or put them in water and try to sprout them, they won't. But raw nuts and seeds, they will. So that is very important. They can also have a much more appealing taste after you soak them, like I said, because it just takes a lot of the gross stuff out. The nutrients in them can be more easily absorbed by the body, and the nutrients, like the vitamins, minerals, can even be increased after you soak them. It's amazing. Studies have shown up to 15 times the original content of vitamins and minerals after you soak them. So it's just a win-win situation, and the only thing that I can think of in your head right now is you're probably thinking, well, that's a complete hassle to soak my nuts and seeds. I don't know how to do it. It just sounds really foreign to me. But it's not. So I'm going to tell you a little bit on how to soak nuts and seeds. For example, almonds, I take, let's say, 2 cups, and I put them in a bowl, fill it up with water, and I soak them for 12 hours. After the 12 hours, so after overnight, I strain the nuts and then rinse them off a little bit, and you'll see this, like I said, this brown gross water just be dumped down the drain, and then you put them back in the bowl and fill it back up with water and soak for another 12 hours, and then you're done. So almonds take the longest time to soak, 24 hours, but after you're done soaking the almonds, you strain the water, obviously, and then you let them dry. Now, after they're dried, I put them in a mason jar with a lid, and they can go in the fridge for up to, I'd say, 1 or 2 weeks. After that, they could start to mold, but they do last a pretty long time. So sunflower seeds, I soak for 8 hours, and the only one that I rinse in between is almonds because they tend to just release a lot of gross stuff, and but the other ones I don't. So pecans 4 to 6 hours, but most of the nuts and seeds 6 to 12 hours is perfect for that. So that is what I wanted to say about soaking them. But overall, what are some of the benefits of them themselves? Nuts and seeds are rich in healthy fats and omegas. They are full of vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin E for healthy skin, zinc for collagen, B6, biotin, and also the zinc for healthy skin and nails and hair. They're just wonderful. And eating a raw food diet especially, they just give so many benefits, and I love nuts and seeds in moderation, and they can really kick up a recipe and just take it to a whole nother level. So that is my video on nuts and seeds, and I am so glad that you guys watched. And like I always say, stay tuned for more recipes from me, because you know they're coming. I will see you next time. Thank you. So it's me again, and I really wanted to just give you a quick example of these hemp seeds and how good they are for us, hemp hearts. Now, if you're looking for this brand in Whole Foods, it's called Manitoba Harvest. They have hemp seeds in the red package, but you want the green package because the green package are the raw hemp seeds, and we always want raw nuts and seeds. I just wanted to tell you some of the minerals and the vitamins just in these hemp seeds alone. Thiamine, iron, riboflavin, folate, vitamin B6, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, and zinc. So these little hemp seeds really pack a punch. You know, I know that it's easy to tend to be a fat phobe and to stay away from the nuts and seeds, but in moderation, they're really good for you. If you're not completely delving in deep to a detoxifying regimen, if you're trying to detoxify a chronic disease or illness, then I would say, yeah, it's not really appropriate to eat nuts or seeds. But if you're just a normal person, you know, active lifestyle and want to eat healthy, they're wonderful. And also, high quality oils, olive oil, walnut oil, even coconut oil. And when I say high, are beneficial. And when I say high quality, I mean raw, unfiltered, organic, and for the olive oil, if you can even get stone ground, it's wonderful. And in these cases, you get what you pay for, and it's worth spending a little bit more and possibly having to buy it online than going somewhere and getting a low quality product that is not as good for your body as something that you kind of seek out for. So that was my little snippet, and I just wanted to add that in. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you.